Everybody, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Gamer Vibes podcast. This is me, Rel, and I got my boy here, auabnaEUGENE, aka Gene. Show. How's it going, dude? Feel free to give a
Yo,
quick introduction of yourself.
hey, my name's Eugene, aka auabnaEUGENE. I've been friends with Rel since we were kids, really 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Both been gamers a long time, specifically for gaming. And into RTS, first person shooters, and the game that I mostly play right now is Warcraft 3.
Sweet. That's what's up. Hey, wait. A quick question, dude. I never got to ask you, bro. Where'd you get your nickname from? Wabna.
So when I played Counter Strike, I was in this clan, and this guy, his name was Jerry. He was like, "Hey, bro, your name upside down and backwards is Awabna." And I was like, "What?" And so I looked at it. I was like, "Oh shit, it does say my name upside down and backwards." So that kind of stuck, and then I kept using it, and when I started going on Twitch, people were like, "Oh, sorry, I don't know how to say your name." So I was
Yeah.
like, "All right, I'll just add Eugene in all caps at the end." And so that's how it ended up being Awabna
Ah,
Eugene.
that makes sense. Got it. Okay, that makes sense, dude. That's actually hella
Eugene's
dope.
pretty cool. It's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, that's hella dope for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Shout out to you.
RTS game. So like, I would say, so what got you into video games in the first place? Like, first video games you've ever played? When, like, what's the story behind that?
I think what got me into video games, I was at my grandma's sister's house, my other grandma, and her daughter had, I think it was like the second Zelda. Was it Link? It was like the cartridge was all gold.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
don't remember. I mean, it might have been like this. It was like the side scroller one. It was really hard.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the second one.
Yeah, and I just remember seeing the gold cartridge and thinking like, what is this? And my cousin had all these other games, and that's how I knew about Nintendo. And she had like the big pad with like the joystick, like the ones that you use for like fighting games.
Yeah.
So that's how that kind of started. And my sister, she played Tetris at the time,
Mm.
and so it kind of was just part of my life from the very beginning.
Oh, for sure,
Honestly,
dude.
kind of how it started. Yeah.
Nice, man. Did you have any like favorite games from back then?
Favorite games growing up, um, not particularly. Like there wasn't a game that I really stuck to. I mean, I guess my favorite game growing up was Final Fantasy VII. Like I played that game over and over, but
Mm.
as a young kid, I guess like maybe Battletoads or something like that. I
Oh
remember playing
shit.
Battletoads a lot.
Mm.
Um, there's one game that was like that race cars, like you're a bunch of trucks. It was like RC car or something, or
Oh shit. Okay.
I can't remember, but
Yeah.
Mario 3
Oh, Mario
specifically.
3's dope.
That was probably one of my favorite Nintendo games.
Mm. Oh, did you ever play?
1942 was like an airplane flying game, I believe.
Oh, I don't
I
remember
might
that
have the
one.
year wrong on that one, but
Got it. Okay, 1942. I was say, did you ever play like the new Battletoads?
I did not play the new Battletoads.
Oh,
I
okay.
saw them.
Okay. Much
I'm aware of
different.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm aware of it, but I was like, I probably wouldn't like it.
Yeah. That's understandable. I was gonna say, but hey, did you ever play the remake though, Final Fantasy VII?
I did.
What do you
I
think?
I liked it. I thought it did what it could to expand on the first one. Um, I guess what's exciting is that there's going to be two whole new games for the next chapters, but I guess it depends on like the approach they take, how deep they're going to go with it. But I think if you haven't played the first Final Fantasy VII, the remake is definitely worth giving it a shot to jump into it.
Yeah, no doubt. Would you recommend the old one versus the new one for like someone who's just getting into RPGs and stuff like that?
I mean, I guess it really depends on the person because RPGs now are totally not what they were 20 something years ago in terms of pace and style. So,
That's
like,
true.
if you're a connoisseur of video games and you just like, and you're a historian, right, and you don't feel right, then you probably would want to play Final Fantasy VII. But I think if you were to play that out the gate, you might be kind of turned off in terms of the pace and just graphics. But I mean, like I said,
Mm.
if you're into video games and you like the history of this kind of stuff, then you absolutely would want to give it a shot. But tempo was definitely something that's different in the new one. The style, it's more action. You're moving and it's more fluid, where the old one's more turn-based. So I guess it depends on your style, right? Like you and I like turn-based tactics type stuff. I don't mind those at all. So I think it's really preference.
Yeah, actually, that's a great answer. That's kind of where I would say too, for the most part. So something I was gonna say, dude. Have you played any recent JRPGs, turn-based stuff? Anything you recommend?
Not really. I mean, the last turn-based thing I played was Wasteland 3.
Oh, I've heard a little bit about it.
That was pretty good. I mean, it falls in the same genre as like XCOM and those type of
Yeah.
games. It was good. I definitely didn't play it on the hardest difficulty. I normally like to play games on like one up from the normal difficulty.
Yeah.
But I was playing so many games at the time that I was like, all right, I just want to power through this. Which, I mean, the game was good. The storyline was fun. You could do a lot in that game. But in terms of well, I guess last one was Trials of Mana. That was the last one I played.
Oh, for sure. Did you like that game?
I actually like that one. So the thing with me with a lot of single player games is, and maybe it's because I'm older, is that I'll get to a certain point in the game and I'm like, all right, I already know what's gonna happen. I figured it out, and I just like stop playing it. I'll get like 40%, 50%, and then I just stop playing it. But Trials of Mana was fun. I ended up playing that one thing the whole thing through.
Oh, sweet.
I don't know, maybe something about like the kitty cartoon. Like sometimes I like them and sometimes I really don't. Like Dragon Quest, I'm not really into Dragon Quest.
Okay.
But that's just me.
Yeah, no, it's understandable. It's just a hit or miss depending on which one you play. I got you on that. I'm actually the same way because I didn't care for like the Dragon Quest 11, but I love Trials of Mana.
Right.
That shit was dope.
And I think it was like, well, even the voicing in the Trials of Mana was bad for like the little kid. I was like, dude,
no.
That
shit. True that. Man, it was.
Dude, guys talking about all this, I didn't realize like I know like talking about a lot of video games.
Yeah, dude. There's so many to talk about. It's freaking dope. Yeah. It's dope. I love talking about video games, man. So, is there any genres or anything like that like you're not into at all?
I'm really not into sports games, even though I'm a big sports person. Like I love basketball, I love football, but like playing sports games is not my thing. I don't know why.
100%, dude. I feel you on that.
It's like least favorite genre.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, like exactly, dude. Like I'll watch basketball, no problem. Warriors all day, But like I can't play like NBA. Was it freaking those like 2010 or whatever the fuck is out right now? Like I can't do it.
I don't know. I think it's the person, right? Like I like a lot of people that play sports, they like sports games. I mean, I play sports, but maybe if you're not like actively playing sports, I feel like there's just so much more to offer in the world of video games than like 2K. But to each their own. I mean, like I've watched people play Madden on a high level and NBA 2K on a high level, and that's exciting only because it's like, oh shit, you're really good at a game. But
for sure,
outside of that, as a viewership, it's whatever.
Yeah, no, that's I agree with that. Dude, yeah, speaking of like high level competitive gaming, I know you in the past have done some high level competitive gaming. I remember, if I might be wrong, but did you start with CS, I believe, when you did like competitive stuff?
Yeah, I started with Counter-Strike, played tournaments there, got some free stuff from there, and then I think it was my senior year of high school. I graduated from high school, and that's when I played like my first big LAN tournament down in LA. Like we got free computers, we got a free trip down there, hotel. We lost, but after that, I stopped playing Counter-Strike. I kind of regretted that. I was pretty on top of my game, like knowing how esports now, I'm like, damn, I don't know like what kind of career I could have had. Obviously, not as like a professional gamer, but then I went into Warcraft. Never really got into the quote unquote competitive scene there, but I would say I played at a competitive level. But that's pretty much where I think my heart sits with video games now, for the most part. Like, part of me is always into competitive games, and if I want to be casual, then it's like a JRPG or Path of Exile or something.
I see. Well, that makes sense though. Do you still go back to CS every now and then?
No, I haven't touched it. It's so slow. It's fine. We talk about that, and it's like you look at Valorant now, which is kind of, I guess, like the newer new age version of a 5-on-5 shooter. And like you play Counter Strike, it's very, very different. It's so like
Oh,
different in the
yeah.
sense of just like it's slow. It feels slow.
Mhm.
It doesn't. I mean, it's different kind of action packed, but longevity. I mean, you look at the game; it's probably one of the highest tournament pool games that's still going.
Still is.
That and League of Legends, so can't argue with it.
That's true.
Sometimes if the simpler it is, the better.
Yeah, I agree. And what do you think of Valorant? I don't know. I find Valorant to be pretty simple overall, but like I know they have some complexity with like the hero abilities and stuff like that in there. Because I know you
Valorant's
played it a
pretty
little.
cool. Valorant's pretty cool. I like the idea of the abilities, right? Like you still die relatively fast, just like in Counter Strike,
Hmm.
but you do have like cool toolkits. The only thing I don't like about some of the toolkits is like you're constantly flashing people. Like some people I've watched, their screen is just bright red because there's just so many different spells and flashbangs and
Oh,
like shadows. Um, but I think it has a lot of potential in terms of growing and becoming like a big esport because
mhm.
it's faster paced. The spells are cool, but there's also a lot of excitement with the tactician skills of flash bangs and grenades
Yeah,
in Counter Strike. So I think it's really just more style. But yeah, Valorant's like Overwatch and Counter Strike mixed together a little bit.
yeah, it definitely is. I know a lot of the
It
pro
has a lot of
players.
potential.
Yeah, I know a lot of players came from all different scenes to get into the Valorant for sure. Um, I
I'm
find the
really excited.
barrier of entry is really easy too, especially it being a free game, of course. But just
Yeah.
getting into it at first, it kind of does cater to that casual player to get into, and then the more competitive if they feel like it. That's what I feel at least. Yeah.
Yeah, the only downside I would say is just it has a super toxic environment, especially
Yeah.
when you're trying to play competitive. I
Mm-hmm.
guess I would go with any team sport game that you play, right? Like if you can blame someone, you're gonna get blamed, and it's one of those games where it's easy to blame people.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's true. Oh man. But yeah, I did want to ask you about Warcraft 3 cuz I know you you
Yeah,
you you mainly stream that game and you
yeah.
fucking yeah, for as long as I've known you, you've been hella good at that game. Dude, I remember growing up and going to your house and just watching you play for like an hour or two and just dude, those were the days, man. Oh, when we were kids, dude.
I
Those are
love
so
those
fun.
days.
I know, man. So like, whatever got you into Warcraft 3?
Um, well, I think because I love StarCraft Brood War,
Oh,
and
I know.
that was my game, and then I got really good at Counter Strike. And when you become really good at something and you have fun at it, it's really addicting. And so I played Counter Strike competitively, but all this time Warcraft 3 was coming out, and so I was just so excited, like so excited to play this game.
Mhm.
And then when it finally came out, I mean, I ended up quitting Counter Strike for it. So just the idea of like it looking, and this is the time, like I feel we've seen so many video games that it's not it's really difficult to be impressed sometimes, and this is
Oh,
at a period where it's like you're going from StarCraft Brood War to like kind of 3D-ish looking models and heroes, and so the game just looked amazing. And I honestly came back to it. Like, so I actually didn't think about playing Warcraft 3 again for the longest time until like I guess I discovered Twitch and
mhm.
really like saw like, oh shit, people still play this game. And when I saw that, I was like, okay. So I gave it a shot, and I realized like that's kind of when it sparked like, hey, maybe I could stream this game on Twitch. And so for me, it was like the perfect formula in terms of like, I think I'm good enough where I can entertain people.
Mhm.
The community's small enough where I can still engage with people and grow my community without actually getting lost in, like, say, streaming Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Um, so it felt like the right game in terms of like my skill set, my passion for it, and also like with the goal of trying to build a Twitch channel.
Mhm.
It felt like the right game, and so I've kind of been, I guess, last week or this year, I've been telling myself I got to be more consistent. Like, so last year, I felt like I was just playing around with Twitch a lot, getting on, getting comfortable, being in front of a camera,
Mhm. Mhm.
learning to lose in front of it, just like going through the year of getting comfortable with Twitch and on it. But now I've learned going into this year, it's really become a matter of consistency. Like if you want to grow
That's what's
your
up.
channel, the only thing that I've seen to work so far for where I am is consistency. Like if you're there twice a week, cool. But like honestly, if you're there 5 days a week at the same time, you really will grow people. You really will grow a channel. And so that's kind of like what my goal has been. That's a long-winded answer with Warcraft, but all intertwined, that's kind of like what my goal is for this year, is to really, really grow my channel using specifically Warcraft to do that.
For sure, dude. For sure, man. Yeah, and I know you've been loving getting on Twitch and streaming what usually like 5 days a week from what I've seen. You're
Last
kicking
week
ass,
it was
man.
pretty good. Yeah, I mean it's a lot of work, dude. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's so easy for me just to go lay in my bed and watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but like it's kind of like exercise in the sense where you don't want to do it, but then like you go and do it, and then after you do it, you're like, all right, that like you're in the rhythm of doing it. It feels good. There's benefits to it. So I can't really complain, man. Like when I do it and I'm consistent, there
Mm-hmm.
are results. So gotta keep going.
Gotta keep going. That's what's up, man. Dude, I mean, do you have hella like specific goals for this year hitting on content creation and on Twitch?
Shit, man. Like I've thought a lot about this in a nutshell, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
I've thought about the YouTube channel. I've thought about so like what I'm really trying to do, I guess, with Twitch. One is be consistent, and then also as I'm consistently streaming, to make sure that I tag and put a lot of markers on my videos and clips,
Mm-hmm.
more specifically markers than clips, just because that way, um, towards the end of the year, through consistent, all of this consistency, then
Mm-hmm.
I can really look back at everything I've done and then like really just pick the gems. But then
Yeah.
even to take that a step further is actually to do that and then actually edit them down. So I
Mm-hmm.
guess
Mm-hmm.
I guess a bigger step would be, because I've looked multiple times like, oh, easy video editing at whatever program. So I just got to do the first one. Like, so I know I got to get like a first card, end card, whatever, and then just get comfortable with editing my first couple videos so I
Mm-hmm.
know I can go through them quicker. Like I've conceptualized a lot of this in my head,
For sure.
but right now I'm just like, if I can't even get in front of the camera to stream, like all this other stuff doesn't matter. So really starting with that. But the next step would be like trying to make it full fledged where like, okay, I stream on Twitch, then I edit the video and then I upload that shit to YouTube, and then like I'll feel good about those things, right? In
Mm-hmm.
terms of the content creation part. But one step at a time.
Yeah, one step at a time. No doubt. No doubt. Dude, that's dope though. It sounds like you have like a really good outline and plan set though for your growth, which is great.
Yeah, man, I can honestly say a year ago I never thought I would even have 130 people following me. I
Yeah.
never thought like last year I got like my first donation from someone that wasn't my friends, and I was like, okay, this is possible. Like, yeah.
Isn't that hype,
But yeah,
dude? That's hella hype when that happens.
it's exciting, man. It's a lot of fun to do,
Yeah.
and we having this conversation talking about video games, it's just like there's nothing wrong with wanting to do something with video games. And like I've been working in advertising for a decade plus, and it's like, yeah, it pays my bills, but like, wouldn't it be dope just to wake up and stream for 8 hours and get paid the same, if not
Mm-hmm.
more? So kind of just like slowly encouraging myself to chase this quote unquote dream of playing video games and hopefully making money off of it. But
Mm-hmm.
that's not necessarily the goal. Like I'm really just having fun building this community, and I know at the end of the day, if that's the goal and I just keep doing that, the rest of it will kind of just come as it comes. But yeah, man, it's fun, it's exciting, and I just a lot of it has to be contributed to you, because like I saw you stream and I was like, dang, and I looked in your channel, I was like, wow, you've actually done a lot of this stuff. And so that did give me the hope and kind of like I guess encouragement, like, all right, let me explore this a little bit. And so here we are. So thank you.
Oh, for sure, dude. Thank you for telling me that, dude. Actually feels good that I actually inspired somebody, you know?
No, you definitely inspired me to do it. I was like, wow, I didn't know you were doing this the whole time. So yeah,
For sure,
inspired me to
man.
give me the energy to do it.
Awesome, dude. Awesome, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's been cool seeing your growth in it too, because you've been doing it for about a year now, I think. roughly.
About a year, yeah.
Yeah, dude. And you're right when you say like about having fun with it, because I personally believe the enjoyment first and foremost of whatever you're doing is like most important. Because if you're just doing it to do it, you know what I'm saying? Then why? Because you seem to have that reason set for you.
I
Yeah, I like
definitely
that.
have gone back and forth on there. Like I'd
Hmm.
go on and I'm like check constantly, like, oh man, no one's looking, no one's watching. It's like, dude, yeah,
Yeah.
because no one knows who the fuck I am, and it's not like I'm outside saying, "Hey guys, watch me stream."
Yeah.
So I definitely had to put a little bit of effort, and that's why I picked Warcraft for that, because I was able to go into other people's channels, I was able to communicate with them, and then like when I go and play ladder, I run into these people, and so it's a lot of like you do have to socialize, you do have to interact, and
Yeah.
try to just kind of put your footprint there. And once you kind of get that going, like yeah, now I have like 4 people that frequent my channel. I'm like, holy shit! Like I
Hell
talk
yeah.
to this person like almost every day I stream. Like that's so weird to me, but
Hmm.
also really cool.
That's freaking awesome, dude. That's awesome for sure, man. I'm glad about that, bro. So yeah, okay. Back to Warcraft 3.
Yes.
Back to Warcraft 3. I wanted to ask because I know you've back then you were playing pretty high level. You say
Hmm.
you weren't pro, but I know you were playing at a pretty high level. Did you ever
Yeah.
get to at least play any of the high level pros from back in the day, like Todd or Grubby or anything
I
that
never
level?
played them. I never played them because they were on Europe.
Ah, yeah,
So at the time, I would have had like 300 ping or something like insane.
yeah,
But in terms of the North America scene, some of those guys now they're still playing, and so I see them. Like I played with them back then,
yeah. Mm.
and so to see where I am now and struggling to reach these levels, it's humbled
Oh,
me a lot,
damn. I see.
because I'll see some of these people. I'm like, dude, I definitely can beat them. Like I've played some of them in the past, but I like seeing them play now. They're obviously at a much higher level.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, like definitely fallen off. Consistency is a part of it, and just yeah, it's a little humbling because you're like, am I just not good enough anymore?
Oh,
Am I just old? Are my reactions bad? Are my hands physically just slow? Like what's happening here? But yeah, like trying to get back to that level, because I feel like as a person I could bring a lot to the community, but I just
mhm.
like, man, I just got to get my skill level a little bit higher just so I could bring the entertainment level, make a few more plays, little
Ah,
cool, quote unquote, like breakaway dunks in a game
yeah.
type shit. So, yeah, it was nice playing at that high level, but coming back and struggling to get back there, you're just like, shit, this is a different
Ah,
world.
it's a different world. How different is it? Like in the sense of not only the scene, but in the sense of gameplay. How different is it from back then to now?
Yeah, I think everyone is just better. Like,
Hmm.
if you're still playing this game from 20 years ago, I mean, you have to have gotten better,
Yeah.
right? But it's almost like any game that gets played over time, it just slowly keeps evolving. And so everyone's skill level is obviously higher, everyone's smarter. So the skill level is just at a higher level in general, but style wise, it hasn't really changed. Like, I mean, you could watch a replay from 10 years ago and be like, this is kind of the same thing, but people are just smarter and they play cleaner. So, in that sense, you really can't make mistakes. And that's how
Mm,
I would say the game has changed a lot.
I see. I see.
It's not as forgiving.
So there's less room for like margin of error. It seems like.
Yeah, because people like you also didn't have Twitch back then. So
Mm,
you could only watch replays. And also when you're watching replays, you're watching what you're watching,
hmm.
right? You're not watching what this guy is doing as he's playing. Like, is he going back to his base and macroing and building while he's fighting in this big, battle?
Yeah.
So there are those advantages that you have now, being able to observe people live and just be able to soak up a lot more knowledge and
Hmm.
apply that versus back then, right? Like you're kind of like just figuring it out on your own, downloading replays from Chinese websites, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell this
Oh,
is.
I
I'm like, I'll
remember
watch
that.
this guy. So it's different.
Hmm.
The information is there for people to get better, and if you have the commitment and will to do it, I mean, it's all to you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. No doubt. No doubt. Damn. That's pretty dope. I
But
hell
it's
remember.
fun.
I hell
It's
remember
fun.
downloading from those Chinese websites to like download like Moon. I think was his name. and check out his plays.
He
Cause
still plays, dude. That motherfucker
he still
still plays.
plays. What?
Dude, still getting paid. I mean, and you kind of
Wow.
think about it, you're like, he must have another life, I think. But like, if he could secure $45,000 a year just from playing tournaments, placing top 3,
Mhm.
I mean, shit, that's a part-time job.
Straight up, dude. That's true. That's true. That's freaking crazy thinking about that.
Pretty cool stuff, dude.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Shit, man. Well, dude, it's been dope getting to talk to you about this stuff, dude, and kind of learning a little bit more about you, especially with the content creation side and freaking getting into gaming and stuff like that, and how, what sparked your interest in gaming and continuing it further, man. It's dope.
Appreciate it, man. I really enjoyed this. This was fun talking about content creation and just going down memory lane of all the games we used to play. Speaking of memory lane, 2 games that will forever stick in my head will be associated to you and your brother are Wave Race 64 and Star Fox 64, man. I just remember playing those 2 games at your house all the time, dude. Those were some of the best memories growing up, dude. Christmas morning.
Hella did. Oh, so fun.
Amazing.
That's so fun,
Oh,
dude.
and one game that you used to play growing up that I remember, Rayman.
Yeah.
You introduced me to Rayman.
Rayman was dope, dude. I never beat that game either, too. It was freaking hard.
I think it was hard.
Yeah, that was hella hard. But yeah, dude, that was so fun back in the days, dude. Man, we still need to have a couch session from back then.
No, yeah,
again, dude.
Let's hang out. I mean, we'll kick it soon, and maybe we'll do one of these live. We'll record it live.
Yeah, dude, for sure, man, for sure. But yeah, dude. Either way, since we're heading out here, feel free to drop any of your socials, anything like that. Or where can we reach you?
My handles are so hard to. My handles are so. This is a problem. I'm like, all right, so you can follow me at auabnaEUGENE, AUABNA, and then my name's Eugene. But that's something I gotta work on because I'm like, that is kind of difficult to digest for people. If you like me, then you gotta figure it out. So.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But that's Twitch, Twitter, all that.
All of them: Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, AUABNA, Eugene.
Awesome, dude. For sure, brother. All right, cool. And everybody out there who's been listening and checking it out, this will be posted on YouTube and the podcast, of course. And I appreciate it. Thank y'all for coming through. Thank you again, Gene. I appreciate it.
Right on. Thank you.
Y'all have a good one. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
Peace.